all the ingredients for an absolute showstopper in this semi-final. In the white, it's the Swedish duo seeded 3, who start very well indeed. Great block from Jonathan Hellvig, takes him to 24 for the tournament, with defensive partner David Orman behind him in defence. And on the other side of the net, it's the #1 seeds, the home side from Qatar, back to their very best and undefeated so far. Cherif Yunus and Ahmed Tijan in the red, looking for a place in the gold medal final here at the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour Finals. And we cannot let that shot go without saying something, Denise. That was just insane.
Ahmed has been running at it, jumping, firing, unafraid of any block that's in front of him. So Jonathan Hellvig is going to have his work cut out for him today.
This is their home training venue, the Qatar players, so they know this sand very well. And they have fought so hard through this tournament. They beat Bril and Wozniak of Poland game 1 2-0. But then had to go 2-1 against Nikolai Kodafava, against the world champions Perisic and Schweiner, and against the option ball superstars Benesh and Partain, who have been matching Orman and Hellvig for their development during the course of this season. Won that game 2018 in the 3rd. And that just shows how much this Qatar team want this title. They have started at a pace.
Beautiful work for Team Qatar.
And it's pretty difficult for Sweden now. They've been a bit rattled by that play just a second ago, Simon. They are doing the pokey set. Now, with that pokey set, it looks like it may be going over. And Cherif got the block on the set. And so Sweden had the same thing happen to them yesterday. And this is one for the referee's playbook. Do they call it or don't they?
Side out from Hellvig, and a very good point you make there, Denise, because as a sport evolves, secondary rules have to come in order to ensure what happens in a game, and that is something that's been causing a bit of consternation. If it's not a hand set, are you allowed to play it? Wow. High, wide and handsome, all very good at the moment from Qatar, and Ahmed looks in great shape.
Yeah, these are 4 of the best athletes that we have on the Beach Pro Tour, and the jump is in the way. The jump ability of Ahmed is second to none. And if they don't get too greedy, don't go into the angles of the block where, you know, Ahmed just changing tack completely there. What a brilliant turn by David Orman. But not going greedy into the block, creating the angles around, going away. That's what they've got to do. They've got to keep the defense out of it, take it high, don't go too short over the net, try and play off the blocker, don't try and outplay the defender.
David Orman option hit, one of the 7 wonders of beach volleyball. Nice. Well, he's established, he's made Orman sit in the pocket there and wait for the power, and he just clipped it away from him. Brilliant.
Yeah, Hellvig is, for his size at the net, he is one of the best blockers that we get to see. His decision making timing, but he can't get higher than Ahmed. So if Ahmed just keeps it calm.
Option swing again, defended beautifully by Ahmed Tijan. And once again, just clips it away, and Sweden looking quite frustrated already.
Beautiful performance.
I mean, this is fantastic by Qatar here. Not giving Orman a chance to get into it, but equally not allowing Hellvig any chance to stall on his block. He's got to get up there fast because he's come in hard enough.
This time the jump set, well read by Cherif, not falling for that. And then the lefty hammers it into the corner. It's supreme from Qatar at the moment, and they lead comfortably. Sweden go to a very early timeout.
And this is a move that is maybe you'll see deployed more and more. Don't bother to go with the jump set. Let him have it. Let him take that heavy swing. Maybe in letting him have the free swing, your defender can then see clearly which way he's going to go. So Ahmed can go right and left and take away the Orman second ball attack. And then you get yourself set up. If they do the jump set and go out wide, then you're set up for the block. Brilliant move by Qatar because Ahmed has done that in the backcourt and Cherif is staying with the attack.
David Ahmed and Jonathan Hellvig, the reigning European champions so far. Silver medalists at the World Championships.
They've had another good season, Sweden. As Abud, our MC, just said, champions in Vienna at the Europeans picked up the win in Joao Pessoa in the last Elite 16 event of the season and missed out in an epic World Championship final against Perisic and Schweiner, where the Czechia team were crowned the new world champions. It's been one of those seasons. It's been an incredible year. So we've had 21 nations on the podium. Brazil, the most successful nation. They've been on the podium 27 times, including victories at Challenge and Elite 16 events. And in terms of winning nations, we have 15 nations winning, exactly the same as last year. It's a different world, isn't it? Just dial it back to when you were playing, Denise. Brazil versus the USA. Yes, there are other nations involved, of course. Australia very successful and so on and so forth. But it was dominated by a relatively small pool of nations. It's wide open now.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the Volleyball TV has definitely helped that process because every single match now is recorded. So the scoutability of the team is there for everyone to see, and they are figuring stuff out. And it's also the coaching staff that are coming from the different nations, the way everybody's gathering everything, using stuff from different countries, looking at what people are doing and trying to bring aspects. You can say, oh, I want to play like the jump Swedes, but can I do everything like them? But equally, you can learn some stuff from them. And then you can bring it to your game. But equally, right now, Sweden struggling with their side out in all kinds. And this is a beautiful serve from Qatar. Going down the middle, you'd expect Ahmed maybe to pick up that middle serve for Sweden, but he's not hoovering it up.
That is not the second touch that we're used to seeing from David Ahmed. Skidding along the sand and hoofing it into the crowd. Two-touch Terminators from Sweden are under pressure here. Well, he was suckered into that one. Cherif couldn't resist, having a little go at Ahmed, and he saw him rise and just delivered the jump set beautifully done. Incredibly high skill level required to execute that play. But they're not the only team that hit option balls. That one is out, though, from Cherif Yunus.
Sweden 6, Qatar 10.
This is where Sweden become a little bit ominous. They've kind of given up almost, and then they play really relaxed, and they're forcing the error. Hellvig getting up high.
Yeah, 21 and 22 years of age. We've coached young players in the past. We know how inconsistent young players can be, as well as being completely brilliant. So they have to fight against that occasionally, but you're absolutely right. As soon as they get relaxed, they play. And that'll do for Qatar. They needed that point, and Ahmed Tijan is more than happy to oblige.
I mean, ahead of the game, there'll be some things that the coaches will say, you know, make sure you hit high, like you said, pin Ahmed into the cross-court defense. It opens up the spaces for yourself. They've gone high, they've gone they've gone for the 2 errors, but then bringing back in, going for the craft. Really nice work by Qatar.
Hellvig's turn to play the jump set. Well hoovered up. Ahmed Tijan. And Qatar have a genuine opportunity now. Shoot ball, lovely stuff. I love those mid-rally communications that change everything.
Oh, it's so good. And forcing Sweden out of defense. Ahmed's at the net blocking. I mean, look at the height of him, really. He could be a blocker anyway. But the craft from Qatar, this is good. Not getting sucked into a power game and getting out-powered by Sweden. Really good. I love the words that they've had with themselves.
Good tempo set from Qatar. Produces a decent point, and then the shank pass from Hellvig. Sweden out of system. Can't put it away. Oh, again, something inventive. And that is out. And what a shame, because that was just brilliant.
Oh, I've seen that move a couple of times this tournament, Simon, and it is genius. It's almost like a back set from the front, you know, he stands it up right above his head, and it's a narrow space. But Cherif has nailed those previously. A little bit of a bullet dodged for Sweden, but I love that play from Qatar.
There are some shots you don't mind missing because they just look so good. Chance for Sweden. Hooked over, though, by Hellvig. Hit the block, and then a very casual option swing for Cherif. Qatar are in control here in set 1.
I think the good thing that Qatar have done is they put the service pressure. And they're playing high, and not playing into Sweden's hand. There isn't any wind, so they're able to take it to the net. Sweden aren't able to eradicate some aspects of the game because everything's still open, because it's a big high game, jumpy sand, and there's no wind to distract. So Qatar are in control of how they're playing the ball. This is what they just need to do. I'm loving the relaxedness between the two Qataris.
The man in the #1 shirt, as all the players will tell you, is an absolute character.
Our second referee,
Start a party in an empty room, Cherif. He's always got a word for everybody. I just love seeing them back into this kind of form, Denise. It just opens up yet another variable heading towards the Olympic Games. And they've been on the podium.
Their buoyancy is the thing. They're just indefatigable.
Yeah, not on that point, though. Hellvig at last gets his hands on a ball at the net. Sweden have just not been allowed to be Sweden in this game.
No, indeed. And Qatar have concentrated on playing it high and off the hands. And this opportunity to try to just go too close to Hellvig and let him get involved.
Just missed it on the seam. Points being given back here rather cheaply by Qatar. Sweden will at least feel they're in the mix here at 3 down. And they are not a team that serves with pressure. They trust the process of block and post-block defence. So as long as Qatar get control of the ball like that, they can do what they want. And that's back to plan A, high and hard.
And beautiful rhythm between Ahmed and Cherif from the sets, just in front, able to just extend his reach just a little bit on the hurry up, and then it's away from Sweden.
Well, the call was to hit the option ball, but Cherif all over it this time.
Back onto the Swedish side of the court. Qatar 15.
Is this the pokey set again? Oh yeah, but it is coming over, so that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it looks like, for all intents and purposes, it's coming over, but could he have side set that one?
What a hit. Beautiful swing from Hellvig.
Hellvig.
Yeah, it's going to have to be looked at, that secondary rule. It's going to have to be a decision made out of season, I think, because a lot of people are talking about it. Too good. Just too good at the moment, and Ahmed is making side out. Very good indeed. Very easy.
And I think I called the game between Sweden and Norway, and this looks reminiscent of the way Norway played against Sweden. Sorum came in hard, he hit really good angles away from Orman, and then he opened up that nice, easy overline.
Great reach. And a good touch in defence. Brilliant work. Sits in the pocket, makes the play, and it's just brilliant. This is some of the best beach volleyball I've seen Ahmed Tijan play for a couple of seasons now.
Beautiful. The way they're working off of each shoulders, though, as well, Simon. Once the angles of attack are diminished, once you've been forced out a little bit wider so he can sit a little bit closer to the seam and then make his move, just holding his ground. Really good work together. They're just out. The physics and the mathematics by Cherif and Ahmed are too good.
The drop in form explainable for the Qatar pair. They've had injury problems in the last couple of seasons, but they look very strong and very fit out there on court at the moment, and they are serving Sweden out of this match. And they haven't had a lot of aces. They only had 3 aces coming into this game. Wow, just huge from Cherif. And again, that is just amazing. Monster block. He's an absolute wall at the moment.
It's the timing and the press and the lively hand, Simon. It's all very well putting the block up, but if you can get your hands onto that ball to get the redirect, to make sure it goes back into the court and you don't get abused, that's what Cherif are doing really well.
Wow. Oh, it's just brilliant. And Qatar are completely demolishing Sweden.
The service pressure to get this overpass. Beautiful, beautiful from Qatar.
Dream territory, 9 set points. Sweden hang in there. And Qatar have been around long enough to know that the game hasn't really started. They'll take the first set, they'll be happy with the scoreline, but they know this game hasn't got underway just yet. And it'll happen in set 2, and Sweden are going to have to fire it up. But at the moment, the home fans delighted because Cherif Younes and Ahmed Tijan are flying, and they lead Sweden by a set to nil, 21-12. Would you believe it?
Emotionally, Qatar taking that kind of form into the second set, that's exactly where you want to be. No nerves were applied onto their ability to perform by Sweden. Normally Sweden would be taking the team apart, making them put them on the back foot, making them feel really uncomfortable, but Qatar looks so at ease at home here. Sweden, though, as you said, will just reset and be out to play 2 more sets. It's service pressure, though, from Qatar, not allowing any second ball options. It was there at the start, but Qatar just ramped up the service pressure, ramped it up, made it difficult, and Sweden weren't able to deliver that second ball option. The jump set wasn't falling there, maybe the odd time here and there, but some of the things that we're looking for the Swedish game are definitely missing.
So far, so good for Qatar in their bid to reach the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour Finals. This last day of coverage here on VBTV from what has been a marvellous season on the showcase tour for the world-class talent in this sport. Away we go then with set 2. In the red, the number 1 seeds from Qatar, Cherif Younes and Ahmed Tijan, are flying. They seemingly, at the moment, can't do anything wrong. It's the 2-touch terminators from Sweden, David Ahmed and Jonathan Hellvig, who just haven't been able to get into the game. But we can draw a line under that first set. It didn't really represent the matchup. And now we're going to see if Qatar can actually keep this level of play going, because at the moment they are shutting the door on Sweden.
It's the level-headedness here from Ahmed. He's come in with some absolute belters, but then just a deft little pokey when other bets are off.
Good work from Hellvig, really put his back into that one and worked it through the hands.
Sweden 2, Qatar 1.
There's a huge amount of pressure that is applied on Jonathan Hellvig. David Ahmed hardly ever sees any service traffic, so he has to work so hard. The physicality of this young blocker is phenomenal, but he has to wrestle himself into this game.
Sweden trying something a little bit different. Looks like they're going to try and test Cherif out.
And that's a good move. They funneled the defense. Ahmed was there. He will feel like he could have got that one. That was one for him to be able to dig, absolutely certain.
Much more control at the start of this set for Sweden, and when they've got control, that's what they can do.
I do like it when Qatar go a little bit more down the middle. The very first serve of this match, they got Sweden on the back foot, and they weren't able to release as fast.
Good reach from Hellvig. Ahmed covers that quite beautifully. I think Ahmed Tijan's been the difference, hasn't he?
Oh, he has. He is an absolute magic carpet on the backcourt. The ability to lay out and just touch absolutely everything. He has been hitting the highlight reels massively this tournament.
Beautiful option ball hitting masterclass at the moment, so Qatar have got to serve tougher than that.
Yeah, this is the difference. It's 2 in Hellvig's pocket. He's just standing there and able to lift. He's not hardly moving his feet. The platform's not broken, and so the release and the lift is too easy for Sweden.
Side out pressures on Qatar a little bit here. And it's Cherif that is getting the service traffic. It's tight. Oh, wow. Oh, it's just unbelievable athleticism from Cherif.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? You know they're going to be hitting at their extremes.
Sweden think it was a setting fault. Robert Lico disagrees. too easy on the pass. It's just not enough pressure from the service line. Sweden will do this all day.
Yeah, exactly, and that is a big difference. We saw Sweden a little bit unsettled, and that middle serve, now they're going to one or the other, and there's no decision to be made.
Wow, that's Cherif's trademark. If you get it wide enough to the pin, he'll find the line every time.
Oh, the height of the contact as well, though, Simon. I mean, Hellvig's up there, and he's just, well, he needs to take more of the ball in that situation when it's that close.
Good serve, back to the middle. Sweden at least restricted to 3 touches, but they put it away comfortably, and it looks like a different team at the moment out on the sand for Sweden in white.
Qatar 5. Jonathan Hellvig to serve.
Good serve out to the sideline. First time that Ahmed has been tested in this set. He's up to it. It's just sensational from Ahmed Tijan.
Really beautiful as well. Jonathan Hellvig, though, was inserting himself. He got the touch, he got the lift up, but Sweden unable to transfer that in. And Ahmed just standing there, taking the overhand dig. But the buoyancy, isn't it? I've talked about that before. The way they're their own best cheerleaders. And every point matters for Qatar. And that's some of the feedback that you get from them. It's like they just play for every point, and they are really doing that right now.
We will wait and see how much longer Qatar can hang on siding out in this way. It's edge of the seat stuff. They've got to get their serve going again. Well, at the moment, it's kind of training drill stuff for Sweden because they're not getting any pressure from Qatar.
Ahmed to play the serve.
Sweden too having an injury, serious injury to the hand of Jonathan Hellvig earlier this season, which they had to fight back from. Beautiful hit once again from Ahmed Tijan, and that's smooth, and we've settled into a really nice side-out battle here.
And this is what I love equally about Qatar, is under pressure when they get those little hurry-up passes, they just kind of go, okay, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to give you a big hit, and give myself a big hitting window. If their partner stands it up short or stands it up tall, they can just accelerate and determine their own acceleration on the ball. Really good broken down play from Qatar.
Better serve. Nearly produced the opportunity, but Ahmed once again with a fine kill.
But that's the craft we're looking for. That's the kind of the difficult questions that Qatar have to ask Sweden relentlessly from the baseline.
Chances. And Ahmed stranded at the net. Hellvig strokes it past him confidently. And this is what I said about the game really starting in this set. Well, it's definitely started now.
And there's this beautiful little move after Hellvig's touched that ball. He just comes back about a meter, and then he gets a stamp and then gets a bit of more energy into the swing. And that was a good move by Hellvig.
Good leave. Very good leave. I think the call was in from Cherif, so Ahmed's judged that to perfection.
I think that's something that comes with age, Simon, that ability to leave a ball when it's millimeters out. Really good move by Ahmed.
Good read. Good read from Cherif, but still Sweden execute, and they haven't put a foot wrong on side out yet.
And this is good from Sweden because they're getting Cherif to bite, so he's not getting lined up in front of the final attack from Sweden.
Good reach once more. Sweden can't convert from there, but they keep the ball in play. And Hellvig gets another fantastic touch. What a set. Good hustle here from Qatar. A little unlucky with the bounce off the tape. First extended rally for a while. And we play on. Sweden to win it. And they've got it. And that's going to hurt Qatar because that was physically very demanding.
Qatar 8.
Oh, beautiful defense by Sweden, but they had to work so hard to craft the ball. Qatar doing fantastic in keeping that ball alive, but there is David Orman at his best. Finally had a ball that he could put away and was able to deliver, but beautiful vision from the Swedish defender. But boy, that one's going to hurt.
As always, the glasses do need cleaning after a long rally. Ahmed Tijan taking the opportunity to delay a little further with the discussion with the referee. Pressure's on here. This is a big side out for Qatar. And they've taken it very nicely indeed. So still in touch.
Qatar 9, Sweden 11. Cherif
A tiny bit higher on the contact, which means that Hellvig couldn't slow it down enough and it just rebounds away from Orman. That's where Qatar, when they're struggling, just make sure they wipe off rather than try and go into the court.
Well, they've decided that Jonathan Hellvig is the service target at the moment, but he's absolutely flying out of the sand and getting right over the top of Cherif.
I mean, David Orman's always going to bat the ball. He's always going to deliver a quality set. So that's, if you're not putting any service pressure on, then I liked it when they were going down the middle, when they got that little bit of an indecision and they started to get Sweden second guessing themselves. I don't like it when they're just predominantly going to one side or the other.
Heading towards late afternoon here in Doha on the centre court at the Aspire zone. Phenomenal facility, and that is a very impressive backdrop to this tournament. Another impressive tower backdrop. The beach volleyball in Paris next summer. Can't believe there's another Olympic Games on the way, Denise. Can't wait.
That's one good thing about the lockdown year, Simon. It just means it feels like we've got the Olympics happening a little bit more quicker this time.
And these two teams will certainly feature, both on track to qualify, and both will be contenders for a place on the podium. So technical timeout. Will it be a restart here from Qatar? Ahmed takes the service and chips it into plenty of space cross court. This is where Qatar have to get back to their work, because they just aren't serving tough enough to break Sweden's two-touch game down. He's too good at the moment. Jonathan Hellvig is looking very strong.
Jonathan Hellvig.
It's too easy. They went after Orman. He got a phenomenal pickup off a really difficult serve, and then they've kind of gone back away from him. But, you know, don't shy away from doing something different at this point.
Brilliant. Just brilliant. Showed as if he was going to jump set and then just pokies over. Really clever.
Really nice work. And this is what I mean, just do something different. Don't come on the same attack lines, but they've got to do something from the baseline. They've got to ask a different kind of question again.
Better serve. Orman had to work for that one, and Hellvig with another very classy second ball swing.
Sweden 14, Qatar 11.
It's so difficult, isn't it, to defend when they're in this kind of form. And they've got control of this first ball. No matter how hard you're serving, it's so difficult to understand how to defend against them.
Good touch from Orman. Oh, it's brilliant again from Ahmed Tijan. Well, he's managed to counter. Every time he's been in a bit of trouble, he's managed to get the point still.
And this is where I feel like Cherif has got to do something for this really well. They've been getting through him. In the first set, he was able to just jump in late, get some late moves, just clamp and put the lights out over Sweden.
Qatar seem to not want to miss a serve. It's okay to miss a serve. At the moment, every ball's going in, and Sweden are playing with tremendous rhythm. And if you miss a couple of serves, you sometimes break that rhythm, even though it's not ideal.
Yeah,
at least you're going for it.
Exactly right, Simon. I mean, if you miss it, they don't get to play. So what? You know, they were probably going to do it if you give it to them too easily, and then their pass actually doesn't get the practice.
Good take. Ahmed Tijan is playing with tremendous confidence, and Jonathan Hellvig has pretty much been frozen out of the game at the net.
When Ahmed comes in and he's just really aggressive, he opens up such a huge space that you can't determine. I think Hellvig's going to have to, Hellvig and Cherif are going to have to make some gambles on the block as well as gambles from the serving line.
Cherif Yunus to play the serve.
Sweden looking smooth now. Now, there's a big groan there. The body language from Qatar is very negative. It's not a bad thing. I don't think that's bad. Just ice Sweden for a couple of points and then go hard. Wow, what a response. Huge from Hellvig, and the man who's been frozen out at the net has finally warmed it up.
And Sweden doubling up on the cross-court defense. David Ullman sitting in the cross-court, so potentially felt that Hellvig was going to go and take away his line. So that's a really nice crafted bit of defense from Sweden. Showing something and not giving anything, not giving up that angle at all.
Anyone for a tiebreaker? There we go, there's the brains trust behind the Swedish team, Razi in the sunglasses. And the man that he credits with developing this system, Anders Christiansen. A little bit nervy for them during the course of this season, but they've got a team that can bring home the big medal come Paris 2024, that's for sure.
I mean, what phenomenal group of athletes the Swedish Federation have got in front of them. I mean, with Isabel Hark indoors, and I would love to see her come back to the beach, Simon, maybe one day, even with her sister, potentially. That might be something that would be really phenomenal, but right now they're playing brilliantly indoors, but these guys on the beach. And there's more jump setters to come, Simon, which is only exciting times.
And that's what happens. Your pool of talent increases once you have a team that your own juniors can watch in action. It's inspiring.
And that is inside the court. Ahmed for Qatar.
Qatar looking for a bit of inspiration here. That it has to come from the service line. That was the route to points in set one. That's why they were so commanding. No doubt about it, though. Sweden in control here in set two. He's on it. Wow, what an adjustment from Ahmed. What a set. How do you picture from Cherif?
Oh, it was beautiful, but it was, as you asked, Simon, there was a craft from the service that took Hellvig a little bit higher up. So the pass was back off the net, the set was coming in, and that's where he got the touch on the block, and the rest takes care of itself. So just keep going for your serves. Push Hellvig deep or mix them up.
Again, the middle, it's tight. And a chance once more for Qatar. Not taken. Hellvig gets the counter block and Sweden keep moving forwards.
Jonathan Hellvig.
I mean, what I would really love to sit down and have a conversation with Jonathan Hellvig is how did he get so good, so young at blocking and reading the attack? Because this 22-year-old making these decisions to block is just beautiful.
Just out the back, but partially the answer to that question, I think, was on that last block, power to weight ratio. What does he weigh? What, 50 kilos soaking wet? And he's got power to burn. So when he presses the button, he gets to where he wants to be very quickly, and that allows him to make some late decisions.
That lands outside of the court.
Okay. Don't let Sweden have rhythm, because this is going to three. Don't let them have rhythm anymore. Qatar's got to break this up a little bit. Nice return to form this from the Swedish pair. Little reminder of what we've been enjoying about their game this last couple of seasons.
Ahmed
still banging away. Ahmed still enjoying himself.
Qatar 17.
And this is where Qatar have got to be careful not to get too greedy. Just hit high, because if you go greedy, that's where Hellvig really will own you.
Just just too good. And when they play like this, Sweden, you can see why they've been so successful.
What I love about this from Hellvig is he's gone deep into the right-hand corner and this time deep into the left-hand corner.
It's game on. 3 set points for Sweden. First one is saved, but Qatar have to gamble here. They want to get this over the line in 2 straight sets. 87.8 clicks on the speed gun. That is flying. No.
On the baseline.
Away we go. It's the shootout to 15 points for a place in the gold medal final on the men's side of the draw. Qatar took the lead. 21-12 against this young Swedish team. Very good. And they take the lead in the early phase of this 3rd set, but they gave up quite a bit in set 2. It's allowed David Orman and Jonathan Hellvig to play themselves back into this game against the #1 seeds. But Cherif Yunus and Ahmed have proved one thing this week, not only that they're back, but the fact that when it goes to 3, they win. What a bounce. What a casual, relaxed swing, and that's disappeared.
And when you look at him afterwards, it's like, it's like he's just done nothing. He's just hit a phenomenal ball through one of the biggest blockers on tour.
Good hustle. Good hustle from Ahmed Tijan. His work rate there just unsettled Sweden. Bit of movement on the ball, making the pass tricky for Hellvig. Again, incredibly accurate, incredibly relaxed, and he's showing all the shots at the moment is Jonathan Hellvig.
This is beach ball at its finest right now, Simon. They're under pressure, a little bit broken out of system, and bringing out more inventiveness in their shot making.
Off the top, I think, of Jonathan Hellvig's head and away. Around we go.
Sweden 2. Side switch.
Touch more breeze now on centre court as we head into the early evening here in Doha. Good read. Good read on the option ball, but Cherif just couldn't quite finish.
David Ahmed to play the serve.
Well, you're right, Denise. This is what it should look like, an encounter of this nature. We've gone the distance already. And how deep is it going to go? Because both teams look absolutely locked in now on side out.
You know, one of the things I'm really loving right now is the wipe-off, Simon. I think it's an under-deployed thing, and I think the fact that they're all hitting high off the hands and then crafting shots. This is beautiful beach volleyball.
How much court Orman is taking? That's a sign that Qatar are not serving with enough pressure. And another block-out kill. This time for Hellvig.
Beautiful play, some great defense going on, but again, they're going high, and that's for me, it's the way they're talking to themselves about concentrating on delivering a quality execution of a shot and not getting caught up to try and beast the ball and hit it hard on the floor all the time.
Side out pressure swings to the team in red. Cherif skips out wide, gives himself a runway for that cross-court shot that he's been hitting like that for years.
Beautifully done. Sweden, though, putting some skin on it. Orman in the right place, but not making the dig. Frustrating for Sweden, but nice mix-up.
I like it, putting some skin on it. At the pace these guys hit the ball, you're leaving skin on it, more likely. Overpass. And that's what happens now and again with this two-touch offense. If you hoist one too close, these guys will gobble it up at the net.
Qatar 6. Sweden for side switch.
This is good for Qatar. Cherif getting animated. This is why I love to see him get. He's just fueling himself right now.
Side switch. Ahmed puts it into play. Solid pass from Hellvig. And just a beautiful kill. What a wonderful shot to look at.
Nice. And but for me, I was watching Qatar's movement and they gave up that cross court far too early. Cherif looked like he was always going to be jumping into this cross court. Ahmed's movement was too early. Sweden's vision too good.
Tremendous. So fast up from the sand.
Qatar 7, Sweden 5.
Oh my goodness me, these guys, they are just dialed in. They're looking, they're taking care of business, not losing it at all. This is a fantastic match that we have got underway.
Similar facial expressions from Sweden that we saw in the first set when they were struggling. Still able to put those balls away. That is just one of the shots of the season. You know, David Ormond's option hit away from his body. If we were to name 7 wonders, that would be in there.
It's the half turn in the air that opens up that line, and then that ability to hit. That's called a Midwest wrist away, apparently.
Oh, wow. What a reach from Jonathan Hellvig.
And this is so good by Hellvig. He had to work really hard from the baseline. He gets in there and then he understands the deceleration from Cherif and just took a moment before he took off.
Damage repaired. Scores level. Qatar have to go again. It's another trickle off the tape. Again, Ahmed forced into an athletic move. He's everywhere. As is Ormond. Goes wrong hand, gets away with it. Third time of asking. Beautiful. Great swing.
Oh, resilience at its finest from Qatar. It's a daunting prospect when Sweden are all over the place. Just to keep going, keep going, keep going. Wait for the opportunity to open up. And then nobody near.
I remember the first time I saw this Qatar team play, and it just gave you such a buzz to see them in action. And you have about a set where you just sit there thinking, is this really happening? This is insane. And then along comes Sweden. Got exactly the same feeling when I first watched them play. Qatar in business. MC in the crowd trying to get their team over the line. Slid to the middle. Tight pass, and it's a save from Sweden. Absolutely fantastic to be able to get the point under those circumstances.
Oh, what a swing from Ormond here after this up from Hellvig. He just goes after it, and he has to look, he has to see where the best question can be asked, and he finds it.
Just tried something a bit different there, hybrid top spin, just to get a bit of pace down the middle, but the frustration very clear from David Ormond at not executing. And absolutely nailed by our TV director. Good hoist, nice swing, solid again. It's when they hit those options under pressure like that, that underlines how good this Swedish team is going to be, not just now, but in future.
Yeah, it's at tempo, at pace, at the extreme, which makes it really hard to figure out where they're going to go.
Tricky pass, well dealt with by Ahmed Tijan. Can't put it away in the angle though. Good dig in the pocket from Ormond. Oh, wow. And the two defenders there trying to outpower each other. And on that particular occasion, it's David Ormond that wins the contest.
Oh, it's a beautiful hold from David Ormond. It's so difficult because Ahmed's been mixing it up, tempting him to start releasing, but he just held his ground, and the speed with which they're hitting at, but right back at you, Ahmed. And difficult ball to take. Well played, David Ormond.
Timeout called by Qatar. First sign that they're feeling the pressure here.
This is the third
We promised you a treat today. Second semi-final for the men. Brazil, Norway, the Vikings will be back in action.
It's coming to an exciting end.
What phenomenal 4 days of sparring we have had from the best 10 teams in the world. Every single match could have been a gold medal match at any Elite 16, and it's been just what an experience for all of these teams coming here, because no match has been easy, and what a display we've got. And how good is it? It's boiling down to the semi-finals, third set. Here we are.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Denise. It's exactly what we promised from the tour as a whole. It's certainly what we promised on day one here at the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour Finals. And the teams have delivered yet again. Huge prize on the line. And both these teams can still get there. Good touch. Ahmed shifts it in for the option play, and once again the day is saved by Qatar, but this time in the wrong positions.
Oh, I love that. A good bit of defense by Cherif. Ahmed was tempted, do I go, do I stay? But he went and he forced the attack around him, and Cherif delivered, and beautiful way to just pull the trigger early.
He's fired up, Ahmed Tijan. 10 apiece, so round we go one more time. Will it be the last time, or are we going deep? Easy serve again, too easy. And it's just allowing Sweden to dictate terms at the moment on side out.
Sweden 11, Qatar 10.
And all credit here to Hellvig, finally bringing out the jump set, not going for that on two, and then Cherif is late to the block, and it's good work by Sweden.
Tricky pass. Ahmed Tijan gets a little tangled in the sideline, and that just took the impetus away from the attack, and Sweden have made the break. 12-10. This might be a match-winning position for the European side.
Oh, it's a beautiful serve, but Ahmed was really unfortunate. Just a little wheel spin. Like you say, he got caught up in the sideline, and they're just out of position, and Sweden just doing what they do, waiting patiently.
Big side out for Qatar. Made. Well, to not get any movement out of David Ahmed on that shot, that's a phenomenal hit.
This is where they've got to have courage, though, now. When you come off the court and you've lost, you've got to think, what did I throw at my serve? And this is a moment for Qatar.
Tough serve required. They've gone for it. Well fielded by Ahmed, and beautifully hit. Nails the angle, and Sweden maintain the advantage. They're looking good for the final at the moment.
I mean, it was a really difficult question, but what a fantastic answer from Ahmed after that really hard serve. But Qatar have got to keep going, keep being brave.
Ahmed Tijan can't get the angle past Hellvig. And it's the same old where Sweden are concerned. If Ahmed doesn't get you, Hellvig will.
The discipline here from Hellvig. He's not the tallest blocker, but he's so disciplined in his positional work, and just that late move, offering up enough of a line and then closing it down.
Sweden spoiling the party for Qatar here. 3 match points. Hellvig to serve. It's Ahmed Tijan, who's been brilliant in this match. But unfortunately, Qatar run out of steam late in set 3, and Sweden power on into the gold medal final. They've beaten